This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it is playoff Saturday. The New York Knicks take on the Philadelphia 76ers today, 6 p.m. Just got off a great podcast with Ron from Still Knicks Fans, and if you did not see it, you need to check it out because it was just an all-star cast of people on the podcast. It was dope, ladies and gentlemen. It was dope. All a lot of your favorite Knick podcasters were in the building. So when we're done here, make sure you get a chance to go back and check that one out. But ladies and gentlemen, how excited are you? I know I'm super duper excited for tonight as the Knicks take on the Philadelphia 76ers on our way to hopefully doing something very great. And you know what? We got phone calls coming in already, ladies and gentlemen, because I know everybody is excited. Caller, before I get to you, let me make one announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, you know we have tickets, lounge tickets to Game 5. I see Coach Bailey said it's going to be a 4-0 sweep. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. We have lounge tickets to Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. There's a link in the description of the video. There's one tag to the top of your YouTube chat. You can also email me if you need more information and more details. All right, we're about halfway there. We need 40 tickets sold. 40 tickets sold so we can book that lounge, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you check out that information because it is there. Let me get to the caller real quick, and we're going to start breaking this game down. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
How you doing? This is Bob from Vermont. Remember me?
What's going on with you, Bob? How you doing? I remember you, bro. How you feeling?
Yeah, I called in when Chris, the entertainer, was on.
Yes, sir.
Remember?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember.
I think the Knicks in 6. I think they gotta take care of those smelly 76ers.
Knicks in 6. Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I can feel you on that. I can see the Knicks winning this series in 6.
And do you like you like football?
Of course, I like football. I'm a Giants fan.
What team? The Giants or the Jets?
I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, you don't like the Jets?
I mean, I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, no. You know what
and
I
the Giants, the Giants sent out a tweet. The Giants sent out a tweet wishing the Knicks luck for today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My brother. No, I'm a Giant fan too. But my brother is a Jet fan, so he goes to the guy named Jake Asman show, and we on that channel we tricked the W guy on WAFAN for the draft. The Jets should sign Knoble out of college.
Okay.
So
I'm not even. I don't mean to do it to you, Bob. Right now, it's all about the Knicks. It's all about the Knicks.
I'm sorry. I'll talk to you another time about this funny story.
Yeah.
But let's go Knicks in 6, though.
Let's get it.
Knicks in 6.
Let's do it. Appreciate it, Bob.
Now.
Have a good one. Yeah, I'm all about the Knicks right now. I can't talk any football. It's all about basketball. It's all about the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the Knicks right now, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out to Kashif. Thank you for the Cash App. Hit me with a $5 Cash App. I definitely appreciate you for that, my bro. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, as always. And ladies and gentlemen, let's do it, man. Let's talk about the Knicks. You see, I got my black Knickish hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? In vein of the New York Knicks and what Brunson and the whole squad has been doing. And I just want to talk about that for a minute because we had a good conversation on Ron's show just a little bit earlier, still Knicks fans, just talking about the cohesion of the New York Knicks right now. You know what I'm saying? And how cohesive they are and focused they are, right? The Philadelphia 76ers players, they're talking a lot of garbage. Paul Reed talking about they wanted to play the Knicks. Kelly Oubre talking about, you know, the celebrity role and all of that kind of stuff. They're talking. The Knicks are focused. Philly's talking. Like, Philly's using their energy to talk instead of being focused. I think that's fear on behalf of the Philadelphia 76ers, right? Because I think they know what they're running up against in the New York Knicks, so they got to find ways to give themselves, hoping, egg the Knicks on, try to get some bulletin board material from the Knicks. Make the Knicks say something, but the Knicks aren't saying anything. They're laser focused, and they've been that way for a while. You know what I'm saying? They've been that way. They've been a laser-focused team through all of the ups and downs, through the injuries, through the trades. You know what I'm saying? They've just been laser-focused with the next man up mentality and, just we're not going to stop. We're not going to quit. You know what I mean? And they're bringing that same exact mentality into the playoffs. We will not quit. We will not stop. How many times have we watched the Knicks this season in a game getting blown out? 4 minutes left and they're down 15. And they find a way. They find a way to get to get the game within reach because they just don't stop coming at you. No matter what it is, they don't stop coming at you. And I'm expecting that and a whole lot more in this year's playoffs from the New York Knicks because it's just what they're about. This team is built to play in the playoffs because of their style. Aggressive, defensive-minded, hustle-minded, no-quit attitude. They're built for the playoffs. You know what I mean? They're built for it. Lauren, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
It's time, man.
You excited?
It's time.
It's time.
Come on, man. You know I celebrated after that Nuggets win. Pop champagne after that Nuggets win. Of course I'm excited. But the main thing, I was actually telling somebody this morning, OG is pretty much playing for a contract-ish. You kind of know he probably has his deal made already, but he's playing for a contract. Maxey probably has his deal done already, but he's also, quote-unquote, playing for a contract. Mm-hmm. OG's job is simple. Cost Maxey money, make yourself more money. Simple.
There you go.
Right?
You put it in business terms. There it is.
Let's just put it that way. Yeah, they got their money already, but that's the perspective. And all his boys who got their paychecks already, Dante, what's his name, Hart, McBride, their job is to help their brother get as much more money as he possibly can by just eliminating Maxey from the whole freaking competition.
Okay.
And then you already know how I feel about our big boys making sure Embiid regrets even playing basketball in the NBA. That's the main thing. Like, I think it all comes down. We know what our boys are going to give us. We already know. We know what they can do. It all comes down to the chess master, from my perspective. Tom Thibodeau, game plan, and adjust as necessary. And this, I do not think, you already know what I said. I see this as a sweep when we're on our game. That's how confident I am. If we play our game, this is an easy series, in my opinion. Lord willing, we all stay healthy, obviously.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, the one thing that leads me to believe the Knicks are going to lose a game or two is, right now we're real perimeter-oriented. And there's going to be a game, in my opinion, where the Knicks are not really hitting from the outside.
Shots.
Right? Yeah. There's going to be a game or two. And we've seen it, I don't know how many times this season, when the Knicks, as the team is constructed without Randall, when they're not hitting from the outside, they struggle, right? And those are the games Brunson, a lot of those games Brunson might have 45, 48 points or whatever it is, because he has to, because he's the only one that can touch the paint, the only one that can get to the foul line. So I'm expecting the Knicks to have one or two of those games.
So now here's a question I have for you, because that's actually a very, very, very valid point. And that's one thing I'm not the biggest fan of the modern NBA is that the games could swing left off 3-pointers.
Yep.
Like you could be up 20 points and all of a sudden it's a close game.
Yeah.
So if you were to game plan for that being a possibility where we're not hitting shots and things of that sort, as we are currently constructed, let's say I told you, I need you to get us a sweep. I need the Sixers not to win any game, even considering the fact that the Knicks could go 0 for 30 from 3. How would you game plan to what would your game plan be if the shot's not falling to still win the game?
If I'm Tom Thibodeau and the shots aren't falling, what would my game plan be? I would try to utilize Bogdanovich because I think that Bogdanovich can score in the mid post and in the post a little bit. I would try to utilize him. I think that if you get my Bogdanovich in the mid range area, he can be a scorer there. I would try to get Bogey in those areas. I would tell OG, we need you to flip your mindset and try to get into the paint, touch the paint. OG doesn't get to the foul line a lot. He's not that kind of player. I know. I get that. Yeah. Right? But in that situation, I'd say, listen, OG, we need you to get inside. We need you to get into the paint. You know what I'm saying?
Is he getting into the paint off ball, or is he kind of facilitating for himself too?
Both.
Gotcha.
Right? Have him, doing more cutting and slashing to the basket. But from time to time, OG can get into the paint through dribble penetration.
Yeah.
And then I would try to use Hartenstein on that mid post and have guys cutting off him like they do. You know what I mean? But we've got to find ways to touch the paint, make the defense get into a panic, collapse, which opens up the kick so that you're getting open shots from those guys. But it can't be if the Knicks fall into that. If the Knicks fall into a point in the game where they're not scoring from the outside, it ends up being Brunson. Just Brunson trying to get inside. And now you're putting all this extra workload on Brunson. The defense is standing still, staring Brunson down, and it goes awry from there. Hence, you look back when the Knicks played Philly, and they only scored 79 points or whatever, or 78 points, right? And Philly scored 79, whatever it was. There was a lot of, it ended up being a lot of, just having to go one-on-one because the defense was so tight. Now, a lot of it was the Knicks just weren't scoring. They came back the next night or whatever and blew them out. But, that worries me, though, that the Knicks right now are really
You make a really good point. You make a really – that's actually something that I didn't consider enough because I do recall multiple times watching the Knicks, especially when Jalen Brunson goes on the bench. We already know that. You don't really have that much facilitating. But even when he's on the court, we do shoot a lot of threes. Luckily, we make them for the most part. We have pretty good shooters, but we do rely a lot on that three. And if they do not fall, you are absolutely right, especially in the playoffs. You do have a point.
Right. And so,
you got a valid point.
I just feel like there's going to be one or two of those games that we don't get over that hump because of the, we're not hitting shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, hopefully it's not that way. Hopefully, the rest does as well. The rest is going to help our shooters, right?
Yeah.
It's going to, they should have fresh legs. You know what I mean? So, hopefully that rest really did help the Knicks.
Facts. Hey, man.
Yeah.
May the Knicks man win.
No doubt. Hey, Lauren, are you worried? We talked about it on Ron's show earlier. Are you worried that the Knicks got too much rest?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Because that is the reason why I'm so optimistic about the Knicks, not just this season, but going forward, is because of who their leader is. It's Jalen Brunson.
No doubt.
There's no room for, foolishness. What your job is. And then when you look down the line, all the way down to McBride, you have somebody who's in the off season shooting 500 threes, I think, a session. These dudes they're Tom Thibodeau workers. They're not taking any days off. I actually think it works in our favor that they got the rest, but their minds and their focus doesn't rest. They're pretty focused dudes, And I think we even have subtly a lot of people. One thing that I think about OG, I actually said this to my boy as well. OG is not only playing for a contract. Again, the assumption is that he's made a deal, backdoor, whatever the case would be. But this is also subtly an audition for Philly because the rumor, quote unquote, is if Philly's going to try to get Paul George first, And if they don't get Paul George, they're going to try their best to drop as much as possible on OG. Obviously, that's not what we want, number one. Number two, that's just a rumor. But even if OG doesn't want to leave the Knicks, him performing well in this series and having a potential suitor makes his negotiating power a lot more. So, we have a lot of things going on, like subtle realities. Hartenstein is playing for a contract. He's going to ball out. Mitch is trying to prove himself fit for this postseason because, he's been out for so long. We got a lot that works in our favor as far as how aggressive these cats will be, and I think the rest works in our favor, though. I'm not worried at all. I think maybe at the beginning of the first quarter, 2 quarters, you might see them have a little bit of rust, but nah, bruh.
Yeah.
These dudes are, they're focused.
Ready. They're focused. They're ready. I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Lauren, I appreciate it.
Facts, man.
I'm looking forward to hearing you tonight after the game.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Looking
forward to it. Looking forward to it. No doubt. Appreciate it, man. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Peace. My man Greg asked, is game 1 a must win? No, I don't think it's a must win. Because if I didn't know the temperature of this team, where we are mentally, I would say, it's a must win. But this Knicks team is built to fight back. Always. You know what I'm saying? They just continuously fight back. All season long, when we thought this team was out of it, they fought back. Every time they were going on a West Coast trip or this trip or that trip, and we say, all right, this might be the point in the season where we lose them, they come up big and win, right? This team just continuously fights back. So even if they were to lose game 1, they're fighting back. You know what I'm saying? If they were to lose game 1, if the Knicks lose game 1, you better hurry up and get your game 5 lounge tickets because they're going out then. I know a lot of people are holding on to see what the series looks like. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think the Knicks can battle back from it. I think they'll battle back. So I'm not going to say it's a must win. Do we want to win it? Of course we want to win it, right? We want to get any leg up we can. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's a must win. Big shout out to Still Knicks fans. So what's good, Knicks family? Salute to the chat. Salute to the Pop Sim. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. I appreciate the great introduction when I was on the show earlier. He said, we just had a great talk over on Still Knicks fans, Know the Ledge, and the conversation continues. Again, make sure you go check that out, ladies and gentlemen, when you're finished here. All right, when you're finished here. Take a quick look at the injury report for today. As you all know, for the Knicks, for the most part, the Knicks are healthy. We're not expecting Julius Randle to be playing anyway. So although, you see his name on the report, there's nothing new there, nothing new to be seen there. But for the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid is questionable. How real do I think that is? He's playing. Let's just put it like that. Joel Embiid is playing. No doubt in my mind that Joel Embiid is going to play this basketball game. All right. If he doesn't, he's going to catch mad backlash, and he should. Because it's been the story of his career. Injuries been the story of his career. Sort of like Zion, right? Zion didn't play last night. The Pelicans won the game. But if they would have lost, imagine the heat that Zion would be taking. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me get to a caller real quick. Again, for the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid is questionable. Robert Covington is out. DeAnthony Melton is out. All right. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're live, brother. How you feeling?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know I was online.
Nah, you good, babe.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I'm a long time listener to your show. First time caller, so I appreciate you taking my call. I just want to say I love your podcast, man. Everything you do for the Knicks fans. No knock to any other Knicks podcast, but you come with less theatrics than some of the others. So I appreciate that. So keep doing your thing.
Appreciate it. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. So first things first, I'm excited about the game. A few things. I want to ask you real quick. How healthy do you? I mean, I don't think this is going to be an easy series. I know a lot of Knicks fans are or some fans that I know are thinking we're going to sweep them. I don't necessarily see that happening. Not with Embiid. But how healthy do you think he is?
I don't know. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think he's probably in, some having discomfort, I would say. I think he's healthy enough to play, but I think he's probably having some discomfort.
Okay.
Against who they play, Miami. It's hard to say. I mean, I seen him with some strong drives to the basket and do his normal Joel Embiid moves and things, and it didn't seem like it was impacting him that much. Now there may have been some plays where maybe he took off so he could rest his knee, while he was out there on the court. I'll say this, Miami's a physical team. Now, you got to play a team like the Knicks that are going to be physical all series long. They're going to come at you all series long. I guess my thing is, the longer this series goes, the more Joel Embiid's knee wears down. Right?
Got you.
And I'm not wishing any kind of harm on him or injury or anything like that on him, but it's just the fact of the matter. The longer it goes, the more his knee wears down. Right? So winning early may be more important to the 76ers than it is to the Knicks, although the Knicks want to win as early as they can too.
Got you. Yeah, I was gonna say, I like the matchup with Embiid. I think he's going to get his points. I mean, he's an all-time great center. I mean, he's going to get his points, but as long as we can slow him down a little bit, and I think we got the centers. I mean, you throw Hartenstein at him, you throw Mitch at him, even though Mitch is probably not all the way 100%, but hey, a few minutes of, banging against Embiid. You got Precious, you got Sims. I know those two are a little undersized, but I know Sims he's pretty solid, so he may be able to bang a little bit with Embiid. So I just say, hey, just throw bigs at him, test that knee. A few things I want to see during the game. I don't know if Lowry is starting tonight. I'm assuming he is. I'm not sure. I don't know if you would know.
I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that he's starting tonight too. I have him on my lineup as being a starter tonight.
Right. So what I want to see is some kind of action where try to see if we could switch Lowry onto Jalen as much as possible. I know they're probably going to throw Oubre at him, and Oubre, played Jalen pretty good, the last few times we played. Jalen still did his thing, but, I would like to see if we could kind of isolate Lowry on him. Now, I know they're probably going to double, Brunson a lot. I mean, I'm anticipating that with Nick Nurse. But I think as we've all seen throughout the season, Jalen has seen it all in terms of traps. They've doubled him, full court press, and he's been able to, for the most part, have the answer for everything. But I would like to see if we could switch Lowry on Brunson, because I think that's easy work for Brunson. Lowry has been a great player, but I mean he's just kind of on the back nine of his career. So I would like that matchup.
Okay.
And then the last thing, and I'll take it off the air, if you have other callers. Let me ask you a question. I know there's been a lot of debate about, this is just from a 30,000-foot view. I know there's been a lot of debate on who the MVP is of the season. You got Jokic, you got Luka, you got SGA. I don't know who else I'm missing kind of in that. People's talked about Brunson. And what I would like to say is, and maybe you agree or disagree with me, I'm a little confused because when people think of MVP, I think most people think of the best player in the league, right? At least when I hear other podcasts or the media talk about MVP. But my answer would be MVP and the best player in the league are two different categories to me. You could be the MVP and not be the best player in the league, and vice versa. And for me, the most valuable player of the year, and I know I might sound like a homer, I've been a Knicks fan since I was wearing Pampers. So, I mean, to me, the most valuable player of the year is Brunson. And people could call me a homer, but for him to have lost throughout the whole year, the big trades we've had, losing RJ and Quick and Grimes, losing OG for that big chunk of time, losing Randall for most of the year, Mitch was pretty much out for most of the year. And for him to kind of, when you think about it, we never really relinquished that 4th seed. We may have dropped to the 5th seed for a few days, but we was always towing the line of that 4th seed. We never really fell off of that 4th seed. So to me, I don't understand how you don't vote him. And I know for some reason, the national media, maybe people outside of New York City, have this thing against New Yorkers or the Knicks. And I know I'm kind of taking it left field, but it just feels like people don't really want to give the Knicks credit, or players for the Knicks credit is like the weirdest thing. But for me, I know he probably won't win it, but nobody could tell me he's not the MVP. And one more thing, and I'll get off the line. I want you to know I work with Big Bubba.
Okay.
I'm one of his coworkers, so I just want to say, he's a good dude. And for those who don't know him, he's hilarious at work. So I just wanted to big Bubba up. And like I said, I wanted to hear your answer about the MVP and then, the matchup. And then thank you for taking my call, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Big Bubba, that's my guy, man. He's a good dude. Real good dude. Hands down, to me, Jalen Brunson is MVP of the league. You know what I mean? When you look at the situation that Nick's been in all season long, hands down, I think he deserves to be the MVP of the league. He likely is not going to win it, but nobody can take that away from him. You can't take it away from him. With everything that he's done this year, I mean, just like, dropping 30, 40, 50 points whenever the Knicks need it, just carrying this team on his back, being that true, just the consummate leader. You know what I mean? Jalen Brunson's got to be, I mean, he's not going to win it. I'm not saying he's got to be, but he is, in my opinion, the MVP of the league. And no, it don't have to be best player in the league. He's the most important to his team, I think. You know what I'm saying? We've seen other teams, their stars go down and they struggle to maintain. I mean, even look at Philly. Joel Embiid went down. They still won 40 whatever games, but the Knicks won 50 games, second in the East, without their second all-star, all-NBA guy. And largely because Brunson just put the team on his back. You know what I mean? DJ Shutter, what's popping, brother? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great, man. We about to get started in this first round, and I like our chances, man.
Yeah. This is, this has the potential to be a really big season for the Knicks. You know what I mean? And then be able to look forward and say, yeah, this championship window is open. Based on what happens in this playoffs.
Oh, yeah, I think the window is officially open.
Mm-hmm.
I think the window was open in January when the team went, 13-2?
Right.
I think, to me,
okay,
that showed the window's open because everybody that was in that starting lineup is all under contract for at least another year, and some are due and can all be re-signed, and nobody's at an age and point where you're thinking, they're over the hill. We don't want to resign them. Everybody's available to be resigned.
Right.
So to me, the window is open. I mean, even if Embiid comes back and has a miraculous MVP caliber series and Philly wins in the first round, I mean, when healthy, Philly was projected to be the number 2, maybe the number 3 seed this season. So, they have an amazing season or they have an amazing series and they win it. Randall's not here, so anything can happen. So I can't even judge what happens in this playoff matchup to say whether or not the window is open or closed. I've already made that decision. The window's open.
The window's open.
But what I wanted to, I'm just kind of like I'm in strategy mode, thinking about how this series can be won. And obviously, Embiid's injury is a very big deal. I'm thinking, and I heard Kenny Smith say the same thing last night, so I don't want anyone to say I'm just jacking what Kenny Smith said. I was definitely thinking it. He said it last night. But you got to make Embiid work on defense.
Right.
Like, you gotta wear this guy out. Like, whoever he's sticking should be in a pick and roll, and you should just be running pick and rolls nonstop.
Okay. And
make him switch, make him move. I mean, that's it.
Right. And the good thing that we've seen over the past month is that Isaiah Hartenstein and Jalen Brunson have developed a nice little chemistry together, right? And running a lot of pick and roll, and you've seen Isaiah Hartenstein get those little floaters in the lane from that pick and roll game with Jalen Brunson and Isaiah Hartenstein. And if Joel Embiid switches, if they run that pick and roll game and Embiid switches onto Jalen Brunson, like you're saying, Jalen Brunson should go at him 100% of the time. Make him have to work. Test that knee. See if you can stay in front of Jalen Brunson with that knee.
1,000,000%. That's what I'm going to see. That's what I'm looking forward to. And whether it's Jalen Brunson or it's Dante DiVincenzo, he's got a lethal shot, and it's going to force Embiid to have to come out to him. He's better than Brunson with those pull-up jumpers. Not that Brunson's bad, but I like Dante in those pull-up jumpers on the pick and roll if they give him space. So, yeah, man, like, Embiid should be forced to play defense like that. That's my strategies. Like, in football, they come up with the play scripts, like the first 15 plays.
Mm-hmm.
First 15 plays, I'm making Embiid play defense.
Okay.
So, yeah, you got to attack him. So, I think that's the key to the series. Wear him down, get him on the bench, get him in foul trouble, maybe getting lazy, reaching because he's in so many pick and rolls. But yeah, that's my that's my take on that and where I think we should be attacking them.
Yeah, no doubt. Who do you think? What about OG? We talked a lot on Know the Ledge with Ron about OG and his impact on the game. And what the Knicks need from OG Anunoby. What do you think the Knicks need from OG? Do they need? What do you think they need from OG?
Well, I think that number one, if Maxey starts getting crazy, don't be surprised if you see OG, aka your boy Scottie Pippen Light, playing defense on the small point guards or the small guards. So if he has to slow down Maxey because you don't want to wear out, obviously we don't want Brunson on Maxey. So I'm thinking Dante's likely going to get the assignment. I think he's too fast and too shifty for Hart, and I think OG is kind of like the best clamp matchup. Like if they're really trying to get a basket or it's clutch in the end of the game, I want OG to shut down Maxey. To me, that's the most important part. I think he's going to be aggressive on offense, and especially if they do what I think they might do, which is to put if they put Batum on Brunson, which I think they really might. Batum, they did some of that earlier this year.
They did, or Kelly Oubre.
Right, or Kelly Oubre. I don't expect Tobias Harris to be able to do much against OG.
No.
And I expect him to get his numbers if Harris is sticking them. Okay.
All right. I just want to see OG. I don't want to see OG only get 8 shot attempts. He's got to be, in my opinion, I want him to be top 3 in shot attempts. And some of that be him, just creating a little bit. You know what I mean? Touching the paint. Being able to go off the dribble and touch the paint, spray it out if he has to, not be afraid to take that little mid-range shot. You know what I mean? To just have that mentality.
I'm confident in OG. One thing we saw, for example, like Grimes. Grimes was someone that we felt like was gun shy. Like, he shot, but you still also felt like he was gun shy.
Right.
I don't think OG's gun shy. I don't think he's, feels lack of confidence taking the rock and busting the move and getting to the paint, getting to the hoop. we've seen him throw it down, on people, all season since he's been here. So,
right.
I'm confident because I've seen him in the playoffs play well. So I'm gonna base what I can expect him to do on actual footage that we've already seen.
Right.
He plays well in the playoffs. He's made clutch shots in the playoffs. So, I mean, he's hit a game. He's hit a game winner in the playoffs. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have full confidence in OG. I don't have a set number. One thing about the Knicks, I think we talked about it on Knicks and Bruises early this week or last week. I understand there's not a clear-cut quote-unquote number 2 on this team, but numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5, their ceiling is so low, and they're all capable of scoring 15-point games. It's not like, they could all get 12 to 15-point games, all 4 of those guys in the starting lineup.
Right.
So, I got full confidence in the starting lineup, and it's just, a matter of, guys like Bogdanovich, Mitchell Robinson, these two especially coming off the bench and making an impact.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Do you have an X factor for the Knicks? And we're going to talk about this a little bit more later on, but I know you're on the phone now. You have an X factor?
Yeah, well, for me, the X factor is what can they do to make Embiid work?
Okay,
are they going to get Embiid in foul trouble? Are they going to make him work hard on defense so that he doesn't have to, be able to just, live and have an easy street of it on offense? He's hurt. He's injured. He's trying to come back. And if he can't, be pressed to work and test his knee, then that's it. The X factor is really just stressing Embiid and getting him on the bench, whether it's by injury or by wear and tear.
Yeah. All right. DJ Shuttle, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully we get to talk to you after the game tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, that's travel. They're wilding. I'm watching the Magic vs. Cavs. I'm surprised they call it because they don't even call travel in the NBA no more. So I'm kind of surprised I just saw that.
Yeah.
But he took the train to the plane. But listen, man, 6 p.m. is going down tonight, man. Man, can't wait. I'm tapped in. And, let's go Knicks in 6. You heard?
Yeah, let's do it. Appreciate it. That was DJ Shuttle, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dang, I cut him off. My bad, DJ Shuttle. Cut him off. Again, the injury report for the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid is questionable. I'm assuming he's going to play, right? He's questionable tonight. Robert Covington is out. DeAnthony Melton is out for the Knicks. Julius Randle we knew was going to be out, so that's not new news. It's old news. Now he's out for the season with right shoulder surgery. So for the most part, the Knicks are coming into this game fully healthy. You heard one of the callers, talk about who might be starting for the Knicks. For Philadelphia. Will Kyle Lowry start? I think Kyle Lowry probably will start for Philadelphia. That's what they went with against Miami. The Knicks and Miami, similar sized teams. So yeah, I think Kyle Lowry will start for the Philadelphia 76ers. For the Knicks, of course, we know it's Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Isaiah Hartenstein. All right, this is the line, and look, the Knicks starting lineup has been all over the place this year because of injuries, right? Because of trades and all. So we've seen a ton of different starting lineups with the Knicks this year, but this is what ended the season right here. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Isaiah Hartenstein. For the Philadelphia 76ers, against Miami, they started Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Tobias Harris. That should say Tobias Harris, that should say Kelly Oubre. Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Match, size-wise, kind of matching up, right? But now, who do they put on who? That's always going to be the question. When you're looking at this starting lineup, with this starting lineup here, I'm pretty sure Kelly Oubre is going to guard Jalen Brunson. All right. You know, teams all season long have been putting a longer player on Jalen Brunson to try to shut him down. Right now, not the last time, but when Philly beat the Knicks this season, they did a good job on Jalen Brunson that game. Right? They made it tough for him every time he got the basketball. So you can expect they are going to make it really, really tough for Jalen Brunson tonight. Kelly Oubre is going to make it really, really tough for Jalen Brunson. Right? There's going to be a lot of banging every time he gets the ball, pushing, grabbing, holding. Right? What I need Jalen Brunson not to do is look at the refs for fouls, because he's not going to get a ton of calls. I mean, he's going to get calls. He's going to go to the line. But there are going to be a lot of calls that he does not get. Philly's going to come in with a mindset to rough Brunson up. Not hurt him, not injure him, but rough him up. You know what I mean? So you can expect that tonight. So Brunson's got to be on his mind. He's got to be on his game. You know, I've seen times when Brunson, you know, gets a little bit upset and he's sitting down on the floor with his hand in the air, you know, looking at the referee. We can't have that tonight. Not now. It's the playoffs. Right? I understand the frustration, but we need you to get up, get back on defense. You know what I'm saying? Rico 3 said, don't complain to the ref. It's playoff basketball. Exactly. And I'm not getting down on Brunson or nothing like that. It's just I don't want him to do that. We can't do that now. You know, talk to the ref during the timeout, halftime, whenever. Stoppage in play. Talk to him then. Not in the middle of the play. Because you should expect that you're going to get hammered tonight. You know what I'm saying? And Kelly Oubre, listen, Kelly Oubre has the tools to be an all-defensive player. You know, he's kind of been up and down based on who he's playing with and all of that stuff, but he has the tools. And I'm expecting that he's going to come in tonight utilizing those tools. Utilizing those tools. You know, so yeah, Jalen Brunson should be ready for, you know, all kinds of physicality tonight. You know, they're going to be paying attention to every move that he makes. He gets into the lane. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 guys. And not only that, they're going to be playing the passing lanes heavy, waiting for those kickouts. Right? So we're going to need guys like DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby to meet the ball. Don't wait for that ball to come to you. You might need to meet the ball. That might mean that you're penetrating to the basket off the catch instead of shooting off the catch. That's okay. Right? But you got to meet the basketball. We've seen all of these guys every once in a while throw a lazy pass out there. We can't afford to have any of these mistakes. Last game we played, we had 21 turnovers against the Chicago Bulls. By making some lazy mistakes, we can't afford to do that tonight because we know how Philly's going to come out and play defense. All right, so I would expect Kelly Oubre to be on Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, probably on Dante DiVincenzo, Kyle Lowry, and Josh Hart. Then you got Tobias Harris and OG Anunoby. And then you got Joel Embiid guarding Isaiah Hartenstein. And this is where what DJ Shuttle was just saying, you know, if you got Kelly Oubre guarding Brunson, Hartenstein, Joel Embiid guarding Hartenstein, put Jalen Brunson and Hartenstein in pick and roll situation. See if they switch. See if they switch, right? Force them to switch and then let Brunson go at Joel Embiid. Every once in a while, maybe get a ball to Hartenstein in the post to go at Kelly Oubre, but let Brunson go at Joel Embiid. Make them have to switch up their lineup or come with another defensive scheme. All right? You know, I agree. You know, test that knee. See how strong it really is. See if he can stay in front of Jalen Brunson. Now you got Tobias Harris guarding OG Anunoby. And see, Tobias Harris, I like Tobias Harris, right? But he hasn't had the greatest season this year. He's not, this defensive guru. OG should be able to do a couple of things against Tobias Harris, especially if they're making a big effort to shut down Jalen Brunson. The Knicks are going to need OG Anunoby to touch the paint. You know what I mean? They're going to need him to touch the paint. Kyle Lowry, if he got Dante DiVincenzo on him, if Dante DiVincenzo has Tyrese Maxey on him, Tyrese Maxey is a decent defender, but, Dante should be able to get his off. And if Josh Hart got Kyle Lowry on him, listen, Kyle Lowry, can be a strong defender. I still don't think he can stay in front of Josh Hart when Josh Hart is cutting to the basket, moving to the basket. Josh Hart is great at moving to the basket, especially in transition. Now, going the other way around, right? Tyrese Maxey is probably going to be guarded by OG Anunoby. Kyle Lowry probably guarded by Jalen Brunson. Kelly Oubre probably Josh Hart. Tobias Harris, Dante DiVincenzo, or it could be vice versa. Kelly Oubre could be guarded by Dante, where Josh Hart guards Tobias Harris. We'll see how it goes in that matchup. Now, remember, Josh Hart 6'4", Dante DiVincenzo is 6'4", Tobias Harris is like 6'8". Kelly Oubre like 6'6", 6'7", or something like that. So, they definitely have a height advantage at that 3-4 position, especially when you look at the matchups. Right now, maybe Tom Thibodeau decides to go with early in the game, I'm going to say, Josh Hart on Tyrese Maxey. Right? And then OG on Tobias Harris. And then later in the game, switch OG on to Tyrese Maxey. Maybe you don't want to give it up too early. Let's see what he's doing. Let's see if the lights are too bright for him in the garden, and maybe he's off. That could give you the size matchups a little bit better, right? If you have Josh Hart guarding Tyrese Maxey, OG Anunoby guarding Tobias Harris, now, your matchup size-wise a little bit better. I'm thinking from the beginning of the game, though, that OG Anunoby is going to be on Tyrese Maxey. That's what I'm thinking, but, we'll see what Tom Thibodeau decides to do. It's game one of the series, so I think that, I don't think they're going to give away too much too early. If you give away too much too early, you have nothing to go to later on in the series when it gets that deep. So I think they're going to probably play things a little bit basic from the beginning and then start to make adjustments as time goes on. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. Kilpie said OG should start off on Harris, but change defensive assignments depending on how the game goes. But OG should guard Harris, Oubre, and Maxey, especially at the end. He might be on Maxey. I agree with you 100%. Right? No sense in pulling out the tricks. No sense in pulling out the tricks too early. See where it goes. See what happens. We'll see what Tom Thibodeau decides to do. All right. Now, as far as the bench is concerned, the Knicks, I seen someone ask, how deep does Tom Thibodeau go in the lineup? The bench units, you got Miles McBride for the Knicks. Some starters going to be out there with the bench unit. Then Bogdanovich, Precious Achiuwa, Mitchell Robinson. Right? Since Mitchell Robinson has been back, Achiuwa's minutes have dropped. I think we all knew that was going to happen. So the question is, how deep does Tom Thibodeau go to his bench? Right? Is he going to go 9? Is he going to go 8? In my mind right now, Deuce McBride is playing. He better play. Bogdanovich is playing and Mitchell Robinson is playing. It's Precious Achiuwa, like we were talking about on Know the Ledge with Ron from Still Knicks Fans. Precious Achiuwa is probably the guy that, he's the guy that's probably going to be out of the lineup from the beginning. Now, between him and Bogdanovich, they may be battling for playoff minutes, depending on how the game is going. If the Knicks need offense, Bogey will be in the game. If the Knicks need more defense, Achiuwa will be in the game. Right? Ron asked, is Deuce going to be in the playoff lineup? 100%. The Knicks need Deuce. Right? There's too many guards. There's too many guards in the league that are dynamic to not have a guy like Deuce on your team and to utilize a guy like Deuce. Right? So, yeah, Deuce is definitely playing. He's knocking down the three. He's been able to go to the basket. He's been able to improve his pull-up game. He's handling the ball. He's not really a playmaker for others. But Deuce has been playing phenomenal basketball for the last 2 months. He's a big key why the Knicks have 50 wins right now. It would be blasphemous for Tom Thibodeau to take Deuce out of the lineup. I mean, this kid has been a starter. I mean, when you look at the season for Deuce, he's gone through not playing and barely getting minutes to getting minutes. And then sometimes being a starter. And then going back to not getting minutes. And then being a starter. And then now he's, coming off the bench. Right? I mean, he's been through the gamut on this basketball team. And still, he stayed focused. And he's out here able to produce for the New York Knicks and has been a big part of the reason that the Knicks have the second seed and have won 50 basketball games this year. All right, so no, there's no way that Deuce comes out that lineup. He's in the circle of trust of Tom Thibodeau, and he's staying there. And Deuce has let you know that he's not giving up his spot in the circle of trust. So, yeah, expect him to be there. Mitchell Robinson, you already know Mitchell Robinson's in Tom Thibodeau's circle of trust. He's one of our longer, bigger players, so you need him on the floor to change shots. You need him on the floor to defend against Joel Embiid. So you got two big centers to defend Joel Embiid. You got 12 fouls, and then you got another 6 fouls with Jericho Sims. And you might have another 6 fouls with Precious Achiuwa if you need them, right? All of these guys have produced. Actually, Precious Achiuwa would get the minutes over Jericho Sims. But all of these guys have produced at some point during the season for this basketball team, which is really, really good to know. Really good to know. Because Tom Thibodeau has trust in each one of his 4 centers that he can throw out there at Joel Embiid. You keep a fresh body hitting Embiid. So while he's starting to wear down, you got a fresh body at him. Now, is he going to go deep enough to go with Jericho Sims? No. Unless somebody gets hurt. But Precious Achiuwa might get some minutes in that 9-man rotation. So you got, if he's going to go 9-man, if he's going to go with a 9-man rotation. So you got 12 fouls that you can use on Joel Embiid. You can play him aggressive. You can play him tight. You know what I mean? Because Tom Thibodeau trusts all 3 of those guys, and we've seen all 3 of those guys produce. Now, Bogdanovich, a lot of questions on Know the Ledge on whether or not Bogdanovich is going to play and how much he's going to play. I think he does play. I think he's going to play. But throughout the series, throughout the playoffs, I think Bogey's minutes are really going to depend on what the Knicks need out there on the floor. I think between him and Precious, you're going to see, if the Knicks need offense, Bogey's playing. If they need defense, Precious is playing. You know what I mean? Now, Precious can also, he can fill in for like OG. He can fill in for he can fill in for 3 different positions. Small forward, power forward, and center. So that's the good thing about Precious, because he can guard all 3 positions. Right, so we'll see what Tom Thibodeau does with his lineup. We'll see if they're going to be if it's going to be an 8-man rotation or a 9-man rotation. It's going to be interesting to watch. I tell you what, the Knicks have logged a lot of minutes this season, especially the second half of the season. They've logged a lot of minutes. I would like to see Tom Thibodeau at least begin the playoffs with a 9-man rotation. Right, it's been great for the Knicks to have, so many days of rest. Right, and not have to deal with the play-in and all of that kind of stuff. So they've been chilling for almost a week. Their bodies should be fresh. They've needed the rest, especially Jalen Brunson. He's had to carry a lot on his back. Right, so he had a chance to, just rest his body, rest his mind. The Knicks should be coming in with fresh minds, fresh bodies, ready to go. Philadelphia too, right? Philadelphia, they finished their game on Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was. So they've also had some days to heal up and come into the playoffs with a fresh mind. The bench unit for the 76ers, you got Cameron Payne, Buddy Hield, Nicholas Batum. Whoever's going to be starting out there, it could be Tobias Harris, whoever, Joel Embiid, and then you got Paul Reed, the guy who was, talking trash about the Knicks. When you look at that bench, besides Paul Reed, who he did give us some numbers when the Knicks lost to them and they lost to them like 79 to 78, he did, we was like, why is Paul Reed cooking us right now? So he did give the Knicks some numbers. But I'm not expecting him to do that every time he steps out there on the floor. But when you look at that bench, Nicholas Batum, we've seen what he just did against Miami. He's done it a couple of times against the Knicks. Right? Ron asked who's an X factor for the Philadelphia 76ers. Nicholas Batum is my X factor. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that's been there. He's been around the league for a long time. He's been in some tough playoff situations. He's been he's been through the gambit. He's been through everything. So I don't think he's phased at anything. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to take a big shot. He's not afraid to miss a big shot. So Nicholas Batum is definitely an X factor for me for the Philadelphia 76ers. Buddy Hield is also an X factor. He can get hot from the 3-point line. He can knock down threes. So he's definitely an X factor. And Cameron Payne, I won't sleep on Cameron Payne. He's had his moments as well. So yeah, the 76ers have a decent bench. They have a decent bench of veteran guys who've been around, who's been around, played in playoff games. They've been through battles. Right? Well, when you look at the Knicks bench, we have the younger legs, the better defense in Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson. Then you got Bogey, who he's like the Hields and the Batums and the Paynes. He's been around. You know what I mean? And the Knicks are going to need Bogey. Right? Knicks are going to need Bogey. But, they've got some guys that have been around. We have a strong bench. This definitely makes it a clash. This is a clash between these two basketball teams. No doubt about that. Right? And that's what makes this such a great series. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that we have the Knicks vs. Sixers pivotal game 5. That will be a pivotal game. I know there's a lot of people that are saying that it's not going to get to a game 5. I'm saying it is going to get to a game 5. I think this thing goes at least 6 games. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a game 5. And we got lounge tickets available at Madison Square Garden, Tuesday, April the 30th. All right? Listen, you get 1 ticket to the lounge, which includes food and beverage, non-alcoholic beverages. All right? Probably have a Knicks legend come through like we did last year. You get to enjoy time with Knicks fans in the lounge in a nice, relaxed setting. You still get to sit in the arena, though, to watch the game. We got a pregame podcast. We got a postgame podcast. It's dope, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? If it doesn't go game 5, you get refunded. If we can't book the lounge out, you get refunded. We're halfway there. We're halfway there. All right? But if we don't book the lounge, you get your money refunded. You know what I mean? So make sure you check it out. There's a link in the description of the video. There's also one tag to the top of your YouTube chat, and I'm going to put it in I'm going to spam my chat right now so that you can go check it out. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people waiting to see what happens before you make a decision about a game 5, you know, but you don't want to get caught where you waited and you weren't able to get the ticket. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you right now, I know the price, you know, it looks like it's a little bit steep, but the playoff tickets overall are steep. I mean, you're talking 300 levels, $485 in some instances. Plus, you still got to pay the fees and all that kind of stuff. All right. So, you know, make sure you check out those tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk a little bit about how these two teams matched up with each other throughout the season. All right, now, obviously, Joel Embiid was hurt for a good portion of the season, just like the Knicks had people hurt throughout a good portion of the season. So all you 76ers fans, I see Sixer Raylex, or whoever you are in the chat, said the Sixers are going to crush your Knicks. And, okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. You know, Sixers fans like to talk a lot of whatever they want to talk about. It's all good. You know, we invite you into the chat. You know what I mean? Just don't get offended when we start coming at you. Anyway, the Knicks won the season series 3-1. All right, and they did beat the Sixers with Joel Embiid in tow. As a matter of fact, they beat them by 30 that game. They smacked them. All right, the Knicks, they average 104.3 points per game versus Philadelphia. Philadelphia, 86.5 against the Knicks. Does that mean it's going to be like that in the playoffs? It does not. Not at all. All right? It doesn't mean that at all. But that's what happened during the regular season. The Knicks shot 45% from the field. Philadelphia, 40.3%. The Knicks shot almost 39% from the three-point line. The Knicks are going to need that three-point shooting to be on fire this series. Philadelphia shot 28.7% from the three-point line. The Knicks dominated the glass throughout the entire series. Even with Joel Embiid there, the Knicks won the battle on the glass. They've got to continue to do that to win this series, because there may be some nights where neither team is shooting well. And on those nights, you've got to be able to rebound the basketball. But the Knicks dominated the glass almost by 10 per game. Assists, the Knicks 25.5, Philadelphia 20.5. Turnovers, the Knicks 16.3, Philadelphia 13.8. Defense, the Knicks have a 92.8 defensive rating against Philadelphia. And a 112.4 offensive rating. And, of course, that's opposite for Philly. They have a 112.4 defensive rating against the Knicks and a 92.8 offensive rating against the Knicks. You know, so those are what the numbers look like. How much can you depend on it? I don't know. You know why? Because during the season, you know, each time they played, these two teams were different. Right? Each time they played, these two teams were different. So that's a factor, without a doubt. That's definitely a factor. Right now, these are the teams that they are right now. And this is who it's going to be. But when they played during the regular season, you know, sometimes you had Joel Embiid playing. Well, at least one time you had Joel Embiid playing. Randall played in one of them. You know, two different teams. Or different teams at that point in time of the season. So, you know, we'll see what these teams look like right now. I can tell you what, the last time that they played, The Knicks blew out Philadelphia, and it was a back-to-back. No Joel Embiid, no Julius Randle either. And the Knicks blew out Philadelphia the second time that they played, although Philadelphia did hold the Knicks to 78 points the game before that. Right? So we'll see what this series is going to do, but these are the numbers. This is how they match up right now. Let me get to a caller. Caller, you're live. Name and where you're from, please. My brother.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, bro? How you feeling? Sound a little bit muffled.
I'm good. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can fix this. Does that sound a little better?
Yeah, you better. You good.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm out here in this street, and so these headphones ain't really doing it for me.
Okay.
But I just want to say I appreciate you, man. Thank you for everything you do in this community. It's Ron from Still Knicks fans. Just playing.
Oh, this is Ron. What's up, Ron?
Yeah, man. Hey, man. What's going on, brother?
I couldn't understand you. Everything sounds muffled.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great about that. I spent $299 on these headphones. Oh man, but anyway, hopefully it just sounds a little better. I'll try to speak up. But I just wanted to say, yeah, man, I once again I appreciate you for coming on the show earlier. Thank you. I think this matchup is one of those that as Knicks fans, we're confident, but I think we got to take it easy. Philadelphia is still a team that knows every season how to win basketball games, so can't take them for granted.
Right, not at all. Can't take them for granted at all. You know what I mean? I mean, they have an MVP caliber player in Joel Embiid on the floor. When you got that, when you have a team like that, you just can't take them for granted.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is, they're facing a Tyrese Maxey that still, even though we've seen some great things from him this year, still haven't seen him like I would still say there's another level his game can go to. And so if we get a combination of Maxey playing at his best and Embiid giving us, I don't know, at least 80% of himself, that's a tough matchup for the Knicks. They're still gonna have to fight and do what they got to do to win the game. And I think you had mentioned it earlier as I've been listening. One of the things to really worry about with the Knicks is that shooter style of play. Like if the shot ain't falling, we could be in for a long night. Right.
That and that's one of the biggest things that scares me. You know what I'm saying? If the shot ain't falling, how do we adjust so that we can score the basketball consistently? You know what I'm saying? Because our defense is normally going to be consistent, right? It's normally going to be consistent throughout. So how do we adjust if we can't score the ball? Right? Now, how do we muster up points? Or can our defense step up another level and stop them from scoring? You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the one thing that concerns me. But the Knicks, like I said earlier, they've been able to find ways throughout the season to battle, no matter what's going on, to battle back and fight back, right, and figure it out on the fly. So I trust this team to be able to do that.
I agree with you. Hashtag all heart, no quit for a reason. They find ways. No matter who they're facing, no matter how they're playing, in the fourth, when it gets to the fourth quarter, you're going to see the Knicks trying their best to try to get a victory. And it may not always work, but they definitely will come to play. So I when I had you on the show earlier, I didn't ask about this gentleman. I know we talked about him a little bit, but I'm just wondering, do you feel like does Hartenstein need to take a better, like a more aggressive role offensively?
I don't know. I mean, do you think, there was a time when I thought maybe he could be a post-up option for the Knicks. Do you think he can be a post-up option?
I think he really can. I mean, sometimes I think he's a little quick. Like I have to think that that's probably about, just not being comfortable and having the repetition sometimes of being an offensive option. But when he's got his shot together, that floater is pretty efficient when he's got his timing together.
Right.
Sometimes he shoots it, he jacks it up a little too quick. I think he's just not ready yet. But that floater is effective. And the good thing about him is that, when he gets used well, he can knock down those free throws. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a little iffy, but when he gets the repetition, he's pretty good at the line. Like, I think he's around 60% from the line. So
Right.
it's not a horrible option.
Right. No, not at all. Not at all. I do like the way that they've been using him and having him, catch the ball at the high post, guys cutting around him delivering passes. I do like the way that they've used him in that aspect. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because I just think that, the biggest problem that a team like the Knicks faces with regards to going up against the Embiid is making Embiid work on the defensive end, especially without having Julius Randle, someone to go down there and bang in the paint. Who's really gonna force Embiid to work and get around out there, make him move, make him use that knee, test it, see what it's looking like.
Yeah. And maybe that knee gets a little, I'm not trying to wish any ill will on anyone, but that knee might get a little weary, might get a little tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
get
listen,
a little tired.
I hear you. I'm with you too. I want the Knicks to be able to play any team they play at the best of their ability, at the highest and most healthy. But let's be real, man. The other teams, if the Knicks got any ailments or any issues, they're gonna definitely test us.
Exactly. They definitely coming at the Knicks.
Exactly.
They definitely come. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and they shouldn't. The Knicks are the second seed, right? They shouldn't.
Right.
They shouldn't. Yeah, but Ron, hey, it was a pleasure being on with you this morning. It was a pleasure. It was a great show. Keep rocking out like that, man. That was dope this morning.
Hey, man, I appreciate you once again. Thank you for being able to have the time to rock with me. And thanks to everybody who tuned in and supported the show and all the other content creators, the great content creators who came through. But you keep doing your thing, Sam. I'm always here to support and listen. Let's go, Knicks.
No doubt. Let's do it. Appreciate you, Ron.
Later.
Peace. And I see we have Sixers fans jumping in the chat. Got some things to say and all of that. It's all good. It's all good. That's what they're supposed to do. We got Corey Lee in the building. Corey, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling?
Man, number one, I want to say thank you, man. You don't know how. First of all, it's an honor to be here with you because I'm a major fan of yours. You carried me through the pandemic between you and Freezy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say no more about you, man.
I appreciate that.
You're the voice of reason around here.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you even more, bro.
I appreciate you. Thank you. So how you feeling, man? Right now we're looking at the matchup. We're looking at the numbers. Throughout the season, the Knicks really did dominate the 76ers in a few areas, right? I mean, they shot better than them, 45% to 40% from the three ball, from the 3-point line, 39% to 29%. They dominated on the glass, everything. Can the Knicks duplicate that effort in the playoffs, or is it going to be totally different because it's the playoffs?
And Tom Thibodeau, I believe, this man has had more than enough time to game plan for this team to get these players together. Jalen Brunson is going to do what he do, but it's the players around him who we all have a question mark about. And do I believe in them? Yes, I do, because they showed up in every situation, in every situation in which we had the opportunity to pack up and shut down and say it's over for us. They didn't. we have combined and compound this team with winners.
Mm-hmm.
With winners. So with that said, I'm not shook at all. What anybody else says, the pundits, the media, the podcast people, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who's throwing shade to us, it's time to show and prove and to cash in these checks that I believe in. You know what I'm saying? I believe in our Knicks, and I've been believing in us since what? Remember what you said earlier today? You have not felt this way since '94.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it because I go back to that too. You know what I'm saying? Me and you are a man of a certain type of age, so you know what I'm saying. We grew up watching these cats,
Right.
doing what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in the front office, kudos to them because they've done the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And even the fact that we do not have Julius Randle makes it even more better. So, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think you answered the question. I look at the numbers. First of all, I think the first game is going to be very similar to the other games. You know what I'm saying? I think the Knicks. Well, I think the Knicks might jump out to a double-digit lead. But I think Philly might fight back this time. You know what I'm saying? Because it is the playoffs. So, will the numbers stay the same? I don't know. It's just hard to say because the teams are different than what they were when they played each time they played throughout the season. So it's very hard to say. But, it bodes well for the Knicks that they had, they kind of dominated the series for the most part throughout the season. The one game that they did lose, it was really because the Knicks were off. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that the Knicks were it wasn't that Philly did much to stop the Knicks. It was mainly because the Knicks were off. You know what I mean? I feel really confident, but I do feel as though Philly's going to be able to get a game or two, mainly because the Knicks offense, we've seen those times when, they're off, they can't hit anything, and I think we're going to have that once or twice throughout the season, throughout the series. Right, but what are your keys? What are your keys to the Knicks winning this series?
My keys are one, when Hartenstein steps off the court, Mitchell Robinson steps up and he continues to shut down Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
A second, but most importantly, is Dante DiVincenzo stepping up and knocking down wide open shots when he has the opportunity. And my third, but most important, is Josh Hart staying within the moment and not losing his sense of where he's at and what he's doing, getting erratic.
Right.
Because those are the things that I look at. And I know I mentioned all three of the Villanova cats, but those cats, they kind of like, without Randall, hold us down. Now, with that said, though, I expect McBride, a very big game out of McBride, defensively and also offensively, knocking down big time shots in the moments that he has these opportunities. So, with that said, there's nothing more I can say.
Yeah. I think Deuce is definitely going to. Deuce is going to show up. I think Deuce is tailor made for games like this and for the playoffs and just his style of basketball play. I think he's tailor made for it. So yeah, I think he's going to show up.
Because he's very gritty.
He's gritty.
He's very gritty.
He's gritty.
And he's a tough kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember when we had this conversation earlier and we were talking about a Deuce and how he's a Bob Huggins type of guy, which rose into a Tibbs type of guy. You talk about a kid, Knicks fans got to understand, when y'all say Tibbs don't develop, he has developed this young man. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, he's giving Grimes he gave Grimes all the opportunity, and he squandered it. You know what I'm saying? Now you look and to somebody who put their head down and did the hard work, and you know what I'm saying, and avoided all the BS. You know what I'm saying, and still showed up when it would matter the most.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. No doubt. Deuce is going to be a big part of this playoff run that the Knicks have. My keys to the game, it begins with defense and hustle, right? Everything begins with defense and hustle for me. And obviously for Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks. And like we're saying about Deuce, Deuce is the epitome of that. That's what he is, defense and hustle. I mean, the entire Knicks squad, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, that's what they do. But yeah, defense and hustle, that's huge for me coming into this game. You know what I mean? I think that I seen someone in the chat say that Philly's not as mentally tough. They might, kind of, mentally weak. And I agree. They're not mentally tough. Definitely not as mentally tough as the Knicks. And so if you can start to wear them down with your defense and your hustle, I think, you can take them out of their game. You can take them out of what they do. You know what I'm saying? And start to take them out of the series. You can wear them down mentally, I think.
No doubt. And those are the things that I'm looking at. And also what I'm focusing on is how the referees will allow them to play.
Okay.
Because if Embiid gets to crying, which he does very good, he gets to that whining, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna get worried to some degree. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's reffing the game. Normally, I look that up, and I would know beforehand. So therefore, I can But also too, though, with that said, with every player that's going to play this game, they have to play through that. They have to play through that. Be smart. You know what I'm saying? Be aggressive when necessary. Don't be overly aggressive when not necessary. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting OG to do what he does at the highest level.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. OG has to do what he does at the highest level. You know what I mean? And you mentioned the referees, and Fred Katz just reported like an hour ago that the Knicks have added referee tendency statistics to their media notes. Right? And then he had a just like a graphic that shows just different stats that, each referee, how they call the game, foul calls, personal fouls, shooting fouls, other violations, offensive fouls, technical fouls, traveling violations, right? You know what I mean? And they do it for each referee. So for today's referees, you have Scott Foster, Brian Forte, and Sean Corbin.
Oh man, you killed me with the Scott Foster. Killed me with the Scott Foster. So that means that's another obstacle we have to overcome. But talent supersedes the referees.
Right.
We just have to do what we have to do. And we have to be mentally focused because this is game one. Once we get over that hump of game one and we put them to bed, that's gonna send messages to the team. You know what I'm saying? 1-2, if we get hit with the 1-2, game 3, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a team. I think that's a team of journeymen put together to help Embiid just still be who he is as an established player.
Right. Yeah. My next key to the game is no slow starts. Right? We've seen down the stretch of the season, we've seen the Knicks went through a stretch where they would have slow starts to the game. You know what I mean? And if the Knicks are gonna win in these playoffs, you can't start slow because it's too hard. Defenses are too good. It's too hard to come back. You know what I mean? After you have a slow start. So the Knicks got to come out the gate fast starts. You know what I'm saying? Come out the gate with fast starts. Continue to dominate the glass. You know, there may be nights when the Knicks aren't hitting from the outside. We're going to need to dominate the glass. There's going to be nights in this series where neither team is hitting, neither team is scoring, shooting percentages are low. The Knicks are going to have to dominate the glass like they have been throughout the season. I think the X factor's got to step up. You mentioned OG, right? OG's got to step up and do his thing defensively, and I'd like to see him do some other things offensively. Bogey, we need him to step up offensively, right? That'll help the Knicks to keep the floor spread. Take some attention off Brunson. We need somebody when Brunson's not in the game, those minutes when Brunson isn't there, to help carry the team, right? Bogey is the guy that can do it, because he's done it in the past, and then late game execution. We can't have any lazy game executions, in this series. You know what I mean? And we've seen the Knicks have some late game blunders. We cannot have these late game blunders, man. What do you think about that, and anything else you want to add?
Like I said to you, man, this team has had 5-6 days to prepare for this and enough rest. So therefore, there's zero excuses for brain farts.
Yeah.
Let's get on top of it. Let's stay focused mentally. You know what I'm saying? I said this earlier on Two Knicks Chicks before I jumped over there to Ron. And I told them the pressure of this game is not on the Knicks. The pressure of winning is on the Philadelphia. And the reason why I say it is because they have last year's MVP. They have all the accolades, everything going in their direction.
Okay.
And for us to not show up and show out, you know what I'm saying, would be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? We have all the bulletin board fodder and motivation in our way, going our way. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and I could care less.
Yeah, no doubt. Your prediction for tonight's game?
I told Ron this, and I'm gonna say this on every channel I go on, even on my show tomorrow. I predict pain. I predict pain.
Okay.
I predict frustration. I predict that we're gonna put all that into what we do, because we have been misguided, misthought about, the most underdealt team in this league. And it's time to prove all those pundits wrong, from the Beckenhammons to the Candace Parkers to the Charles Barkleys to the BSPNs and the TNTs and NBA networks, that we are for real. You know what I'm saying? You lucky I love you, because I'm trying to keep it PG, bro.
Yeah, keep it. Yeah,
you
yeah,
understand
yeah.
what I'm saying? Because I really want to speak my heart. You understand what I'm saying? But I predict us to do what we do, what we've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Since we lost Randall, we rallied behind Jalen Brunson, and the second leading scorer is going to be our team. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's stop picking out individuals and let's become one. Knicks fans, we have to come together right now, because the Knicks need all our energy. I want to hear that. I want my peoples calling me right here in Atlanta, telling me how they can hear the Garden rocking in Queens.
Yeah. Listen, it's going to be crazy tonight. You already know. It's going to be crazy tonight. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be, they're gonna have 7th Ave blocked off, outside the Garden. It's just going to be crazy tonight. it's gonna be bugged out. You know what I mean?
I wish I could be there. I wish I could be there.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I promise you this though. Inshallah, once we make this past this, and whatever we do after this, the second round, the third round, I will be in the city.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. I feel you on that. And hopefully I can get some people in the city on Tuesday, April 30th for Game 5. That's going to be a pivotal game. We got about half the tickets sold already, but we're trying to get this locked down by Monday or Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, so that the lounge is there. All right, so we need some people to jump on it. I know people are like worried. Maybe there's not a Game 5, and I know it's expensive, right? But you get one ticket to Game 5. There's food and beverage in the lounge. It's the Chase Lounge, right? We have our own little area in there. We got a pregame live podcast at Legends, a postgame live podcast at Legends. You know, most likely you're going to have, you know, a Knicks legend come through, you know, and greet the group like they did last year. Latrell Sprewell came through last year. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you reserve your ticket. If there's not a Game 5, you'll be refunded. If we don't get the lounge because we didn't get enough people in time, you'll be refunded, right? So and I'll make sure we're trying to take care of this so we can make sure that people can get refunded in enough time to purchase a ticket. You know, if that's what you need to do, you know what I mean. So please make sure that you reserve your tickets right now. All right. Again, Tuesday, April 30th. There's going to be a pivotal Game 5. Either one team will be up 3-1 and on the verge of elimination, or the series will be tied 2-2, and the winner goes up 3-2. All right, so please make sure you reserve your tickets right now. There's a link in the description of the video. There's also one tag to the top of your YouTube chat, and I'm putting it in the video in the chat right now, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can get your tickets. All right, I would love to see you at the game. You dig what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, Sim, man, I'm not no hater, bro, and I love you to death. I love you to death.
Mm-hmm.
But I pray that we don't even go that far.
I know, bro. I know.
I bought a brand. Hold on a second. I went to Family Dollar, bought a brand new broom. You know what I'm saying? And I was sweeping out my back door on my porch today. I pressed the washer today, and I was thinking about it. And I was like, "Oh hell, nah, man. We're gonna end this right now. We're gonna put Embiid to sleep." You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and stop all them comparisons to my favorite Knick of all time, Patrick Ewing.
I feel you. Kilby said, "What if it's spring cleaning and the Sixers get swept again? Then you'll get reimbursed your money, or we use it for round 2." But
inshallah, that's even better. Give me more time to come up there.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Or we use it to round 2. You know what I'm saying? But if you want your money back, you get your money back. That's how we do it.
You know what I'm saying?
But man, Corey,
I ain't trying to kill a party. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Hey, it is what it. But that's how. You know what I'm saying?
It happens.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? There's a chance that the Knicks sweep them or they get swept or whatever. You know what I mean? But
I got a feeling he gonna break, man. He gonna break early. He gonna break, man.
Who's gonna break?
He can't. Embiid.
Embiid. Okay. Hey, he might.
He gonna break early, man. I told you the butcher coming.
Yeah, I feel you. The butcher is coming. The butcher is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get up out of here. All right.
Yeah, I'm done.
I appreciate your
Thank you,
time.
man.
Oh, Corey, definitely, man. I appreciate your time coming on. And you know what? This is the same link that I use, so you can definitely jump in. I'll be doing the post game show.
I want to do my shameless little plug. Shout out to my bro. You know what I'm saying? Boulevard. If y'all can, man, on Sunday morning, it's 10 o'clock. Pull up. You know what I'm saying?
All morning.
We're into the usual podcast. You know what I'm saying? We silly, we funny, but we all about basketball and we all about 100% Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Come check us out. We do talk sports. You know what I'm saying? And we love the Knicks. That's all that matters the most.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, we're up out of here. We'll catch you on the post-game show about 9 o'clock. All right? And while you are waiting for the Knicks game, watching this Phoenix and watching this Phoenix and Minnesota game, you might as well book your lounge tickets so we can get that thing taken care of, ladies and gentlemen. I'm up out of here. I'm going to throw it up on the screen one more time so you can see everything that's involved with it. There's a link in the description of the video that gives you all the details that you need. It's also tagged to the top of your YouTube chat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.